Welcome to Stamp-a-faire. This is Danielle Flanders, and I'm going to be talking about twine techniques today. I love using twine on my cards, and there's so many different ways you can use it, so I thought I would just share with you today 10 cool twine techniques. And as you can see, it comes in all different colors. These two are some of my favorites by Paper Tray Ink, the rustic cream and the rustic jute twine. This is a little bit thinner twine, as you can see, and the rustic cream is a little bit thicker. So it just comes in all different colors. You can use any color you want today. I'm just gonna show you a few techniques that you can try with your twine. Okay, so twine technique number 1 that I want to share is to wrap twine around your card. I always wrap it twice and then I tie it in a little bow to separate a pattern, 2 different patterns. So here I have the gingham on top and then the floral on the bottom, and I really like how the twine adds a little border, a little bit of color, and it separates the 2 sections. So you can wrap it around the whole card, or if you're creating a card front separate from your card base, you can wrap it around the card front and then attach it to your card base. So here's another one of those. On this one you can see that I've actually wrapped it around the card front and then attached it. Here's another one that has the 2 different colors here, and I really like how it creates a little separation there. And on this card you can see that you can use the twine as a vertical border instead of a horizontal border. And it just adds a little punch of color there also. So that is technique number 1, wrap twine around a card where 2 patterns meet. The second one is add a piece of twine to a section of a card and staple it on. So what I do for that one is I just take a little piece of twine. I'm never a measurer. I just cut and go. And I'll hold it like this with the loop, and when I'm placing it on my card I will actually staple right inside this loop here, and then I'll staple this side so it stays right where I want it, and then I'll actually attach the card front to the card base after it's stapled. Here's another one that I did that technique with. I wrapped it about 4 times and then stapled that end and stapled this end and then just let the ends hang there. I love how it just adds a little section and it doesn't wrap around the whole card. Kind of different. Number 3 for twine techniques is wrapping the twine around an embellishment. So here you can see I have a little ticket that I've stamped, and then I just wrapped a little bit of twine around the ticket and then attached it to my card. This one is similar, except I punched 2 little holes in the card front and I tied the twine on and added a little bow here. Just a little doodad on the card there for extra interest. And you can see that it doesn't show on the inside of the card, it's just on the card front, and then I attached it after. These are some little vellum butterflies. I love this card. Twine technique number 4 is to create little twine nests or branches with the twine. So this is like a jute twine that I've just pulled apart, and I've actually hot glued it onto my card under this little felt flower. Kind of makes a neat little look with similar to branches or little nests. So you can use the jute twine for that. So that is twine technique number 4. Twine technique number 5 is using twine as an element on your card that has a purpose. So here I've used the twine as strings for my little balloons that I've cut out. I punched some circles and then just used the strings, 4 strings as a balloon. Twine technique number 6 is stitching with twine. Paper Tray Ink has these little quick stitch sentiment dies. So when you run these over your paper and run them through a cutting machine like a Cuttlebug, it actually cuts out the holes, and then you just go ahead and stitch the holes and it spells out a word. We have love, thanks, wish, and hello. And there are all kinds of other stitching dies also from paper tray ink. So here you can see it just adds a lot of dimension and it's a neat handmade look. Twine technique number 7 is bundling the twine behind a focal point. So here I found some gold twine at the craft store and I'm just wrapped it around a few times, and you can staple it on underneath your focal point, or you can just put a piece of tape over it just on the ends there and then tuck it under your focal point. Now we have number 8, which is tie onto a tag. Tie the twine onto a tag, which I know everybody's probably done that before, but just a little reminder. And I've used a Tremendous Tags die here, and I've stamped a herringbone pattern on the little tag, and I've added some twine to my tag here. And then these are little twine flowers that I've made, and I'm going to show you how to do this technique and my number 10 twine technique. I'm also going to show you that one in a little tutorial. So let's get started. Okay, so to make these little twine flowers, you're going to first need some punched circles. They can be any size. You can use any of the paper tray ink dies that are circle shaped for this. You're going to need some twine and some tape, some scissors, and if you want to add little dots to the center, you can use enamel dots, pearls, or gems. This is one that I've made with the jute twine, and I've used a little pearl in the center, and I've used the vintage linens die to cut out the leaves for the leaves on my little flowers here with spring moss cardstock. And then you'll also need a glue gun or some beacon fabric tack, something that works well with fabric that dries quickly. Okay, so first you're going to, I'm going to go ahead and use this twine for my flower in one of these. I'm just cutting probably, I don't know, 12 inches, maybe not quite that long. I'll cut 3 sections. And you want them all the same size, or pretty close. You can trim them off if they're not quite the same. And then what you're going to do is place them on your work surface, and you'll just tape the end down because it's a lot easier to work with when it's taped down. And you're just going to go ahead and braid. So it's over, under, over, under. And my tape isn't sticking very well to this mat. So you'll just continue braiding all the way to the end. I've gone ahead and braided the whole thing, and when you get close to the end, just wrap it in a little knot here, just so it doesn't come undone while we're creating the flower. We're going to trim this off later, but that'll just keep it nice and tight and it won't come undone. Okay, so you're going to take your little circle and you're going to just tape the end to the back. If you have any tape hanging over or twine hanging off, you can trim that off. Okay. And I'm also going to cut a little slit into the circle there so I can get my twine started here. So all you're going to do is add some hot glue all the way around and just keep wrapping. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little, the braided effect kind of looks like faux crochet once you get it all wrapped up onto the circle. So let's go ahead and start gluing. Be very careful if you're using the hot glue, and just do a little piece at a time so you don't burn yourself. Like I said, you can use beacon fabric tack, which dries very quickly and won't burn your fingers in the process. You just continue gluing and wrapping, gluing and wrapping. just do a little section at a time because the hot glue does cool off very quickly. And then your twine won't stick as well. I'm going to continue gluing. Sorry, I know that's hard to see on the camera. If there's any strings, that's okay. We can pull them off later from the glue there. Okay, so when you get to the center, just take your scissors and trim off the extra. Now if you want to add a little pearl to the center, just put a little teeny dot of glue. You can use your scissors if you don't want to put your fingers in the glue there. And then if you don't like this edge, you can trim that off with scissors. Go ahead and cut yourself a leaf and add the leaf, and that's it. Really, really cute and easy. And here's the twine, the rustic twine one again, rustic jute. That is number 9, full crocheted flowers. So let's get on to number 10. Okay, so twine technique number 10. I'm going to call these luggage tag tied buttons, and the reason is because the way you tie the twine onto the buttons is just like tying a luggage tag onto your suitcase. And so what you need is a button that has 4 holes and 2 pieces of twine. This is so easy. So you're going to want to insert the twine so the long tails are at the top of the button. Okay, so you have the 2 long tails at the top of the button, and then there's a loop in the back. And so what you're going to do is take the 2 tails and pull them through the loop, and it creates like a little luggage tag sort of a look. So you can do that on both sides. I'll do the other side for you so you can see it one more time. Tails go on the top of the button. Don't pull it all the way through. Make sure there's a loop on the back. Take your tails and pull them through the loop. Okay? And then you could tie these onto a card, a tag. I just think they're super cute, and they almost look nautical to me. You could also do a button that matches the twine that you have. So here's a red one. If you don't like using buttons on your cards because they're, you know, a little dimensional and hard to mail sometimes, you can use Papertrey Ink's button-up stamp set, and you can make your own buttons that are a little bit more flat and colorful. I would recommend maybe backing them with a chipboard so it's a little bit sturdier when you're tying the twine on, but these would work great also for little luggage tag tied buttons. So that is it for my 10 twine techniques. I hope you enjoyed them, and feel free to choose any of the 10 techniques that you want to try on a card for this challenge. I hope you have a great time with Stamp-a-faire, and thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you being here. Have fun. Bye.